make the changes. If we look at our user interface, I think we need to fix the layout. Currently, none of the objects are visible in /dashboard. It's just, just to kind of log in, not a real username and password. So now we can go on our browser. Currently, so our issue is that not scrollable, and we're going to update our plan. So I think what we can do is this is going to be visible here. Okay, so that's the event view. So let's go back to here. We can request change. So memory detected. Let's add it to instructions, and it should write it. Let's see if it launched. Okay. gonna go to okay. We'll accept the image now, but we have an issue with the scrolling. Okay, now create event. Next, create. You have to see the network. Now it says get file content. Okay. We have a lot of issues here. So we are going to start from the basics. I'm gonna say, okay, anti-gravity is giving issues. Let's just quit that. So I think AI, you let it do the debugging for you. back in business. Okay, so it is fixed. So now we can go to grid view. Okay, so great. So now my plan tracker, I'm going to change that into something different. I'm going to copy the URL first. If we can go to our anti-gravity, so it does work really fine. So now what we're doing, oh, it's still working. Still working. So I want to actually see if I could have a little window here. I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to go into our Chrome. I'm going to okay, so it added it. So now what I'm going to do is first Okay, what we want to do is to analyze this directory and kind of match it with our current state of our project so that we can be ready for developing the next version. So what we have is what we want to do is if we click on one, it should open. If an event already exists, that should be a good feature to have. So we're gonna go into our feature planning, let's let this rip for a bit. So in a way, this is our, we're gonna ask, let's copy this path, copy the path. We're gonna launch a Copilot instance here. We're going to launch a Copilot instance here, code. Put it here, we're gonna say, we have this workflow, and what can you tell from it? We wanted to kind of switch to kind of a hybrid of XML and this. What do you think? Okay. It's a little more accessible. Okay. Now, just going to analyze our workflow, analyzing many files. We're gonna let it we're gonna have to be patient with this. In the meantime, okay, so it says that it's human friendly. I think what we want is to kind of make it into a template but also analyze the workflow to see if it matches the current state of our project. In terms of, I think controllers would be the first place to look for features. And we let it rip for now. This is working a bit slow, but I think while the agent is doing its job, we can simply kind of think about other stuff. What I would propose is take a look at this. I think what we wanted to do was to check our calendar. The most useful view is going to be like that. The simple feature would be like, if we can even think in terms of logic, I think we go to dashboard. Let's actually see there is an ID for this, because I think our components should have IDs now, so that can be easily master panel. Okay, we're gonna call it master panel. We'll also give it a class name. So let's copy this. Copy element. Our task is going to be simple. What we're going to do is if we go to our, let us see. Now we have a new template. So they say the brain directory. Check it. So the brain directory now. Let's check our brain directory. It says, okay, we have version 1 of the code completed. Testing, all the tests passing, 78 tests. Now we need to create a new plan. Okay, now the brain directory contains workflows. Before we even do that, we need the plan for the next version. And we're going to actually go into our plan.md. Let's before check with this. It says, okay, this is not ready yet, so we're gonna say here that I still don't know what we're going to change yet, so Anik will need to do some research about the application and to gather some information. We can split the phases first into user interface and the backend logic. Let's switch in and testing. So for now, let's do an analysis of our controllers. I think it would be a great opportunity to go into our /brain directory and simply update, because we have like even the project state, we kind of have it more current. And remove all the extra verbiage and wording. We want it to be compact and just to the point. So I think that's the most essential part. We're going to spin up an interesting kind of start illustrating our thing. So we're gonna go into okay. We need a little controller that's going to be illustrative controller. This controller is simply going to be called slides, and it's going to have a side panel where we see almost like thumbnails of slides, basically their titles. And then we'll have, when you click on a slide, any item on the list, we see another component that shows a slide. A slide can have edit mode or display mode. So slides have title, and then we can pick an emoji from a list to give it a little flavor, and then a text box. And that's the content type that we have. So we can save it, we store it in the database, and we can add new slides. So it's an easy way to kind of add notes. So let's call it, it's a slide, but it's a note. Okay, so on an issue, we've hit our limit. So our solution is going to select another model. The model has not refreshed. Let's use the Flash one. Okay, and I'm just going to say, please keep going. And then we continue. So let's see how far the GPT-5 Mini is able to understand this. GPT-5 Mini is not as elaborate as what is GPT-5 Mini. What is it good for? We could go into, okay, OpenAI says that you have a 400,000 context window. This is 0.25 per watt. So it recognizes text it recognizes images, but it's not no voice, no video. Fast, it reasons quite well. But what is the index? Is it good for coding, fine-tuning, endpoint, stuff like that? Code interpreter. Okay, well, code generation. What is codex? We have 55.1 codex max. So let's actually see. And do you have access to Model API on Azure? Basically, have your own AI model for coding, and you can just go into the API, go host it yourself on your Azure infrastructure. Want to see that, if it's gonna allow us to, because that would be a great infrastructure. So you can deploy your own model, having a private custom model for coding, and it's called AI Foundry. Okay. So I think this is, at some point, this is what we're gonna have. Meantime, let's go. It says, okay, it's writing our thing for us. Okay, let's look at the insight the system has given us. It says that, okay, we have status, brain analysis, agents, and then workflow, and bugs. Clean up. We can clean this up. We can clean this up. We can clean. Okay. Now we have our core UI, and then strategic depth. Okay. Okay, for strategic depth, that's a good, actually, what do you propose? I mean, I assume that it will recalculate the data logic. Would we store that in the database or something, since I think it's in the displaying? What is the issue, really? In the meantime, we're gonna check this model to see. Okay, going to create for us this table that has ID string for what? The title, that's the email, that's the content, that's the order, that's the timestamps. And we're gonna say yes. And it says, what's your whole stack are you using at the moment? Premium for anti-gravity personal use is running a deal for $8 a month. Ah, really? Wow, thank you for telling me that. Currently, my stack, if we go into our composer.json, I need to start paying more attention to our let me check for premium. For anti-gravity personal use is running a deal for $6 a month. Well, thank you for that, Jordan Ramirez. That's so I'll show you my stack. Stack is a Laravel. And this is, if we go into our composer, so our composer.json. First, do we need to run migrations, or are we good to go? Okay, so far it's PHP. I guess it's the latest version of PHP, in my opinion. We're using Laravel, Thinker, Livewire. Livewire is for kind of like auto refresh. We have Livewire Vault. We check this on our browser. Livewire Vault is an API for Livewire to create single file components, and in a way you're writing less JavaScript. You still have the interactivity. And then we're using Tinker to kind of experiment with the terminal. For our thing, we're using Faker. This is kind of to generate mocks. Then we have some other stuff we may or we may not need. We're using Seeders. This is for our backend, so it's just plain Laravel, SQLite for our database. The SQLite is actually really good, especially when you're developing and when you're first deploying. I don't have to deal with another server, so I swear by it. Almost all my apps I use SQLite, unless I have to use MySQL. We go into our package.json. We use Tailwind. I'm experimenting with Tailwind, but I would want to use Bootstrap. I like Bootstrap, but Tailwind, because the thing with Tailwind is maybe I'm against it, but look at that. I'm going to refactor. I don't like when my HTML is like that. I think I would rather see my HTML first, see what it looks like, then I can look at the style at the bottom. I think this is what we're gonna do. This hard to remember. Yeah, px4 mx auto, and then I'm going to there and repeat it again. I'd rather have a class, have it there, so I don't have to repeat myself. But they also said that it encourages to create components, because once you create a component, you don't have to use it again, so everything is all in one place. So that's the advantage. Okay, so I'm going to take a little break for a file. I'm going to put that in that. I'm going to just simply say that thank you for your recommendation, Jordan. Take a look at that. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'll be right. and gonna click on our script to see. Okay, so now we go to our anti-gravity. We're also going to check this is okay. So now, what is the new issue? So when you click on a button, the component reruns the entire logic to determine what to render. Currently, in calendar year to blade, generate counter method loops through the 12 months, loops to 31 for every month in group, and matches every day against event collection. We're building the calendar structure every time. This is actually a great way to kind of use the vibe coding instead of going into the chat, and you kind of build a knowledge base as you go. Well, let's add some constraint. For now, it's only the calendar year of 2026. So we're only going to focus on that. And I think if we have a view selected, okay, if we're on the master view, okay, it's gonna show the entire calendar. But maybe it should, I don't know. How do we do that? Okay, so it recommends us to structure the refactor. So we're gonna have it to a static. We're gonna a public month. It's heavy with the computer property active Monday. So we query the database. Okay, that's a good way. Okay, now we can ask it the question. You say, all right. So then, how would that be, or that logic be, look like in when we have the full view, when we have that view where it shows the entire calendar? Ideally, if there's an event, we would, I guess, is we should, how do we propose the calendar view? Should we just show a single month for now? And I would say, if we have the big view, the big wide calendar view, I think we can just display the month. And if there is an event set for that day, we simply display a dot. Now, if now we select a month, we can now do more deeper calculations. And then if we select the week, but I don't know what would be the best structure for that. I think with this whole Laravel thing, let's go to 12,000. Let's see if it had. I think what we're trying to do is So the idea was that when we have the grid view, probably broken. Idea was when we have the grid view, okay, the app is not running, we shall go, there could be an error. So let's go into our server, see what the error is. Okay, it seems like it's going. Okay. Run the migration for me and also add a link on the network. So the proposal is that if in January the server memory doesn't know if February exists, that's a good responsiveness. Let's go to responsiveness. Says that if the UI can have a big view, let's first fix that. The UI can have a big view that is purely visual and a detailed view that is purely the heat map. Click the the large standard calendar for master sample in detail. Give me some more clarification by the proposal. If you have any doubt, navigation that page. Okay. Alright, so now it has said the idea was that when you click on the grid view, okay, it shows it like that. It shows it like that, and what we want now is that it was saying that the CPU was giving a lot of issues. So we want, when we click, create an event if there's no event, and if there is an event, it will show it. So now if we select this, okay, so now I think the first thing we need is a hover animation. Goes into the master view. So the master view is more like that. Goes into the active date. There's no event scheduled. We hide it. I think for now what we should do. Let's look at, okay, so it says, let's go in our lights. Check our new feature, illustration feature that we have. Verify complete error. Second logic says this. It says event. Okay, so that's what's going on. And to reverse it, we send a tiny list of events. The browser, the 12-month is static. Master view. Okay, now again, let's be a little bit more succinct. How many views do we will have? If we click it, put into account edit view and display view for the calendar. So you see, we ask it like questions, so it knows exactly what to do. Then I'm going to go into this. I'm going to say, well, currently it's not recognized as a Razor app. Right? We have to make sure that it's a proper Blazor app. Each of these views, let's give me a brief description of each. Okay, so we have the year grid, which is the bird's eye trait. Logic, we use the dot map, we use the subactivities. Only when even exists a customer will see dot next to vertical list. Please go into our brain, go into plan, input that. Also just sketch the general control or views responsible for this where each element views. If something needs to be included in test case. What's the difference between server hosted or server or the other? Yes, that's okay. So now we always make now our knowledge base up. Okay, what I'm going to say is that we're gonna start to have this recurring memory system for our understanding, where we have at the first stage we have an idea phase. We're kind of collecting ideas, we're kind of discussing. Second phase is the planning phase. We take those ideas and we give them some structure. And then the third phase is the implementation phase, where we implement, mark it as complete. And then we clear the context window so that we can save next. And then we can go into the next phase, which is testing. And we can go back to the whole plan after so now we have that version. So we can go version by version. So now what is our system missing that we improve our Did you create our slides project outside of the Laravel project? We wanted it to be inside of the Laravel project as just a simple controller action. it's going to be part of the project. It's just going to behave differently. Okay, so now what does it say? It says that, okay, let's see. Okay, so it's going to be an internal calendar with a simple public view once the events are published. We are going to have some recurring events that are pretty much set in stone. So for example, recurring events are every Wednesday night, 7, 9, every Saturday. 2 events on Saturday, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. Those are always going to happen. The nature of them, as in their titles, what's going to happen, is different. The structure of the program itself, but that's variable part, and the static part is things. And then, we may have all the events during the week. Livewire Slides Manager or Slab. I think we're gonna keep it with Livewire because it's gonna give us more interactivity. And let's check on our. We're gonna ask. We're gonna say F. I'll give it an emoji. Slides as you understand it right now. Documentation is important. So now, this is the phase that we are right now. We have the skeleton and slot system fixed as placeholder slots. Variable function. When you click on a Wednesday slot, we are going to also to make some comments about the UI for into. When we're going into the map view, you hover over the card. When you click, it kind of zooms in and goes into the single block. That's one. Second is, for example, we are January 26th, so we can gray out the days that already happened. This is for the master video view. And on mobile, when we are on master view on mobile, we should collapse them into our accordion so that it's easier to navigate. Okay, so now what I'm trying to say here is when we go here, we go to plan tracker. Everything is working again. Okay, so here, oops. go here, go to February, March, April. So the idea is that they're already here. So these should be collapsed. We don't have to worry about them anymore. We can click on that. There's no event schedule. It's okay. So now we can go into the grid view. What I mean by that is when we hover over the big card, click, it goes into the display view. With that in mind, let's proceed to our application. Let's see if that's going to do anything. Let's see if we have a Laravel app that's going to run. When you say .NET Run, hopefully it actually builds the system and runs it for us. Okay. Localhost 5000. Let's go on localhost 5000. Okay, so the page cannot be found. Wait, to actually mention that here. This is okay. Now go back to now let's see what it has said here. Here it's telling us that it's telling us that the planning is complete. We go to brand plan.md. Let's check our plan.md to see. Okay. Plan.markdown file. We'll accept changes. We'll preview it to see what it actually looks like. So it's going to, it has a logic. Phase 1. Okay, I'm going to basically now tell it that so far a good plan, but I think we are missing some kind of crucial detail about, we have the title, but I think the logic should be more detailed so that the instructions are more clear. And add a little instruction that says, as soon as you finish a task and it has been proven tested, and we then can mark it as complete, so that when the agent comes back next time, it knows that this task is already done and move to the next one. It's almost like a little issue tracker. So that's where I was instructing that we can mix XML in Markdown where it makes sense. Okay. In the meantime, we're going to go into our now. Let's see what it has told us. It says, okay, now I'm going to tell it to make our context window more efficient. I'm going to end this session so that next session we are on a different phase, which is the implementation phase. Also, that way it kind of makes more sense. Our little workflow that we are building right now, can you find a good place to document that so that we also have an indicator of how that works and store that somewhere? Next session, you should give me a prompt that will kickstart the next phase. Okay, so now we got our thingy. Let's see, you wanna run this comment? Yes. Go back to this, build it, check, build. Let's go. Okay, so we're gonna start. You're ready. Okay, we plan that every start phase 1. Copy this. I'm gonna close the session. I'm gonna start a new session. I hope my limits. I think that's actually a good way is to see how far we can take. How far we can take our our thingy, but we want to check our okay. Check the implementation. Oops. Let's create a plan for our user interface. So now, what would be a good upgrade to our user interface and interactivity that we could have? Let's let it. Now, this is where we start. The only thing with PHP is that the logic, not the logic, but the syntax, although very funky, not very beautiful, PHP is useful, you know. You don't mind how it looks. It actually does a very good job, especially for web development, you know. And it's actually very performant, lightweight. It's been there. If we look at kind of PHP, you know, on Wikipedia, PHP has been there since 1993. And when you have all this training data, a lot of training data, let's go to our, we have a lot of training data on PHP, you know, 1993. People, oh, PHP is bad, PHP is ugly. But if you really think about it, it's quite. That's the first syntax of PHP. In short, you can still write. I mean, people don't write code like that anymore. Although you'll be surprised. A lot of people doing React. A lot of people doing React are doing exactly. It's just a different thing. So Blade and Tailwind. I'm gonna use this. Okay, so now it says that calibration wizard telemetry. No, that's a lot of thing. I think our main features is on slide listing. You don't have a slide panel click. We can reorder, drag and drop. That's a good feature. Second feature is we make our slides list borders around the list items. Same with slides. Click. We can have a expand view, kind of like a present view. That just makes it bigger. And then second, we'll have content type. Content type is a basically create a new slide. We write the title. We see a selection that we can insert in the slide. It can be a 2-column with title and content. We can have a list, you know, bullet points, and then we'll have an image. So we'll have to use the image upload system so we can attach image to our slides. And that's it. I think those 3 content types, image can have a, for now, image would be on a left column, optional description, right column. If no description, image takes full slide. And that's it. What do you understand from this? While it's loading, going to go quick. Okay, so it says understood the core requirements and that we include a title plus a content type selector, and for the image we should render left right column. Okay, so now we tell it can you please create a plan for that. Okay, let it create the plan for us. In the meantime, we're gonna accept. Going to commit the 2 files that he has done. I think our goal today is to build that first version. Now, once we have that version, then we are all set. Okay, created this one and verified. So we did that action. Okay, so what is the prompt for the next task? Or are you able to reset it yourself using Flash? Going to say that's the next task. Mission protocol. What do you understand from our workflow so far? Write that in our workflow understanding folder file. Can you please show me the plan now? Are you able to clear your context window from this chat? I made the context window. Okay. Go into a Gemini Pro just to let it flip. Implement our plan. So, Laravel, understanding the fundamentals of the framework actually is important, because it's not just asking the AI, the model, to just do it for you. You have to understand Laravel so that, for example, resources, this is where we have our CSS file that we haven't touched manually yet. This is our database. Database is all database operations happen in here. It's divided into factories. What's a factory? Factory is kind of like, for example, we have an event factory. In create operations, we can say like we're gonna seed. That's like for seeding. We have migrations. This is almost like version history for your database. You create the initial and you build on top of it. You have our seeders. Seeders are like we were talking about in our SQLite database. Now for our most of the logic, we're gonna be have it in service and app. We'll have services. I think a lot of our logic will be here. And also in providers. Also some here. But for now, so as you can see, this can actually automate the stuff for you. This is automatic, I'm not touching it. Please don't forget to like the video. If you're watching, can you write a comment? Tell me what are you interested in software development? What is your goal for career, for hobby in that sense? You can open files for us. You can give it this file. Right now we are at the boring phase of application, because I think part of it is the momentum, you know? Okay, so we have a first version of this that slides controller, and we want to kind of improve our user interface for it to be more interactive. So first we need to kind of have some borders around our list items, and then we want to enable drag and drop reordering for the slide kind of thingy. So when we click on a create new slide, we'll see titles and a quick emoji switcher that we click and auto updates, puts it next to the title. Second part is going to be kind of content type for the slide, default text box, but we can switch from a text box to a list box, which has like quick input of bullet points. We save, it displays. We have like a full screen kind of present mode, and then we can exit. And then what other things we have? Quickly cycle to the slides, and then what else do we have? It's kind of like for content type image. We can also have text, image, or two column text, where each text has a title and a content description. And that's it. That's for our content types. And then nice big fonts, quirky. I think we're done for the next minute or so, because but this is where we're at. Next time we're gonna improve. We're going to end the stream on a note where we're gonna see our gravity slides working, and then that should be good for today. Been a good journey. We're growing as a community. We're learning. Okay, see, it shows available slot now. Okay, that's a good start, but we don't want that. Okay, I want to say that. It's just verifying things, and simply refresh idea was click. Oh, instead of a model, we should just do that in place. Just put our create new event in that place here. Because it doesn't make sense we click new event and it shows a model. I think it should just stay here. Click new event and then edit it right there. And I think that's why IDs are important here. Like here, let's see identifier. Then okay, let's launch the app for us. Let's see what it does. Anti-gravity can be good because it automatically handles a few things for us. Thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate that. Helps. And I think we're learning things by osmosis, you know, as we are. I'm going to explain what's going on here. Laravel, that's .NET, that's ASP.NET. We're kind of comparing Vibecoding with these two. Okay, so now it has launched. Okay, so now we're going to simply see if there is any issues with the CSS and the styles are not loaded. So we're gonna copy and basically say that our styles are not loading. So we're gonna copy this and basically say that, okay, first we have fixed this. Can you open a document and says, okay, our state of documentation, our state of the project, because we fixed this error and I think we are at a stable version, but only remaining issue is this. Okay. There's a misunderstanding. We don't want to book a slot. This is an internal tool where we are basically just putting events. It's like an event. We're just putting things that are happening. And it's not necessarily about booking the time. The time is booked. It's always booked. It's just that the event details change. Like the format stays the same, it's just that the content of that recurring event, you know, that I told you will change. Meanwhile, why did we have that CSS issue? So I think that's the issue. We're gonna see if it has been fixed. Not fixed. Thinking. Okay, so it says that it's because component level user files, one path, quickly check. Okay. So for the rest of the session here, I'm going to, it's too complicated for GPT mini. I'm going to, once you see that the agent is not working like it's supposed to, start a new session and then report the issue back again. So we go here, we're gonna inspect the element. We're going to go to console, we're gonna copy, and we're going to report that back into our agent. Paste, and discard this, edit, proceed. Now, meanwhile, our app is testing itself. See, I'm not touching the mouse, it's just doing itself. Well, currently no styling at all in our application. Each of them have their advantages and their inconvenience. So .NET is good for a lot of things. Is good for. So okay, so ideas. All right, so we're going to actually file our application. So we're gonna call up on Gemini. We're gonna call up on Gemini and say Gemini, because our application is not styled at all. Fluent design. Like what I want to say is that since we were using Fluent Design, I assumed that our styling would work. I wonder about. I feel like it's just Stack Overflow. In a lot of ways, Stack Overflow on steroids, um, where it copies and pastes the code for you. Yeah. Please continue. Like our user interface needs some work. We have this issue, copy, paste this in here. Waiting for what? Waiting for, you can confirm this. That's the part I don't like about this testing utility. But we just let it, maybe it's verifying things for us. This is an application we are building using Fluent Design. Currently, no styles are being applied on our application, so we have to make sure Fluent Design works. One thing with anti-gravity is that it's extremely user intensive. I will come back later for another stream. If you subscribe to the channel, then you'll get the notification once I'm back live, okay? Thank you again.